In a previous video, we saw that if Islam is true, then the largest false religion in the world, Christianity, is Jesus' fault. In short, if Jesus had properly taught his followers the one simple message, Allah is one, worship Allah, follow his commands, made sure that his book was actually preserved, warned his followers properly about false teachers, and told his followers that he wasn't crucified and raised from the dead, then Christianity would have never happened, and billions of people wouldn't be worshiping Jesus today. But instead, Jesus has caused more false worship than any human being ever. Bad Jesus. But perhaps we were too hasty. Another culprit must be cross-examined. The defense calls to the stand Allah. We have 3 accusations to make against the all-wise Allah. If Christianity really is a false religion, there were 3 actions taken by Allah that look highly suspicious. It's almost as if Allah wanted Christianity to succeed. Accusation number 1. At the center of this false religion, Christianity, is the belief that Jesus was crucified and rose again. But if this never happened, if Jesus was never crucified, then where did the Christians get this idea? Did they make it up? No. Allah made the crucifixion appear to them. Quran 4:157 says, "But they neither killed nor crucified Jesus. It was only made to appear so." The central event of the Christian false religion was all Allah's doing. All Allah had to do was nothing, and Christianity would have never started. If Allah wanted to stop Christianity, then why did he start it? Accusation.
Everyone get the point? It's an important point. One of the most important points, and especially for discussions with your Muslim friends. So Muslims will, how dare you believe that Jesus died on the cross? And where'd we get that idea? Muslims want to say, hey, your book's been corrupted. Okay, I open my book and it says Jesus died by crucifixion. Who corrupted? Who corrupted? Oh, the Apostle Paul. No, read your own book. Allah corrupted it. Allah's the one. So guys, you catch that? We, according to Muslims, have a false belief. We have a false belief in Jesus' death by crucifixion. Where did we get that false belief? You trace the origin back, right? So, like, suppose you believe some sort of lie right now. And I say, where'd you get that lie? And, oh, I heard it from so-and-so. Okay, well, you believed so-and-so, so you had a problem. You shouldn't have believed him because he's a liar. But it's not your fault. You're not the one who lied. You believed someone else who told you a lie. And so shame on that other person. But right now what we're being told is we believe a lie about Jesus' death by crucifixion. It's like, okay, where'd we get that idea? We didn't make it up. We're the victims here. We're the victims here of this lie. Someone told us this lie. Where'd the lie start? Who started the lie? It ain't the Apostle Paul. It ain't later Christians. It ain't the Council of Nicaea. It's Allah. So Allah is the malicious liar who started this lie and got us all to believe in this lie. It's an important point to get your friends to wrestle with, because my experience, Muslims don't think through this at all, right? They'll sit there. The Muslim view is, we have a better view than you because you believe Jesus, the innocent Jesus, died on the cross, where we believe Jesus was rescued. See, we have a better view. It's like, keep taking a closer look here, because you believe Allah tricked billions of people into believing something that's false. And the reason we have a false religion right now is because Allah did a great job tricking everyone. So on what planet is your view better? Interested to know. All right.
Number 2. Let's go back to the year 50 AD. It's been about 20 years since Jesus was on earth. The story of the crucified and risen Jesus is spreading like wildfire out of Judea and into the wider world. It's being proclaimed by people who think that they're actually serving Allah, but their false message is turning worship away from Allah and towards Jesus. If Islam is true, this is absolutely terrible. Christianity will grow to become the worst thing ever, the largest source of false worship in human history. What does Allah do? Allah could stop this blasphemy. Allah could make another prophet out of a speck of dust at any moment. But instead, Allah waited. Allah watched false worship and did nothing. After Jesus, how long did Allah wait before sending the next prophet to humanity? 50 years? 100 years? No, 570 years. For over half a millennium, the all-wise one watched on as the world was taught lies about Jesus and Allah. The supreme author sat on his hands while the world followed a false book. The all-hearing one listened as the world worshipped Jesus. The all-speaking one sent no messenger, no word, no reminder, no book for over 5 centuries. If Allah wanted to stop Christianity, why did he wait so long? Accusation number 3.
Everyone get that? So Allah messes things up, and then a bunch of false teachings start spreading, and then instead of correcting them, Allah just lets it go. Just lets it go until it spreads and becomes the world's dominant religion.
When he does send somebody, it's some Arabian dude who marries a 9-year-old and steals his adopted son's wife and is a...
In other words, the last person we would ever listen to, that's who Allah sends to correct the big mistake.
Good plan. Good plan. Awesome plan. I like this plan.
He is surely the best of planners.
Yeah. Best of deceivers. Now he's the best of planners. Now there's another accusation. So.
It's really good. It's really good. Powerful. All right. Accusation 3.
Finally, 570 years later, Allah sends a prophet. By this time, there are 20 million Christians in the world. That's 20 million people who think they are worshiping the true God, but are actually following a false book. Obviously, Allah must convince Christians to give up their book. Christians, to be the true followers of Allah, must be told what you call the Gospels are actually corrupted. What you call the Gospels are not true books. What you call the Gospels were not given to Jesus. You must not read the Gospels anymore. So how did Allah communicate this vital message? Quran 5:46 through 47 tells us, "Then in the footsteps of the prophets, we sent Jesus, son of Mary, confirming the Torah revealed before him. And we gave him the gospel, containing guidance and light, and confirming what was revealed in the Torah, a guide and a lesson to the God-fearing. So let the people of the gospel judge by what Allah has revealed in it." Oh my goodness. Let's get this straight. Allah must tell Christians to reject false books that they call the Gospels. And yet, Allah refers to the true book given to Jesus as the Gospel. Allah needs Christians to reject the Gospels, yet says that Christians should judge by the Gospel. According to Islam, there's a book that Allah gave to Jesus. By the time of Muhammad, no one has seen this book for over half a millennium. No Christian alive knows that it ever existed, so obviously they don't have a word for it. So in his wisdom, what word does Allah use to refer to Jesus' book? He calls it the Gospel. Allah refers to the true book using the very same word that the Christians use for their false books. Allah took the word that Christians use for their own made-up, false, blasphemous books and applied it to the true book. If Allah wanted to stop Christianity, why didn't Allah tell Christians to give up their book? Why did Allah make it highly likely that Christians would confuse their false books with Jesus' true book? Given these 3 accusations, there are 3 possible verdicts. Number 1, Allah is an ignorant moron. Or, number 2, Allah wanted Christians to become Christians. Or, number 3, the Quran was invented by an illiterate Arabic merchant who didn't know the first thing about the Gospels. While Jesus' role in the rise of Christianity is inexcusable, there's an even more guilty party. Allah faked the founding event of Christianity. Allah did nothing for over 5 centuries as Christianity spread. And Allah told the Christians that he gave Jesus the gospel, knowing that this would cause confusion. Who's to blame for Christianity? It's Allah. Muslims, take a hint. Even Allah wants you to believe in Jesus, the crucified and risen Son of God.
There you go.
Yeah, hey, you could expand upon that a little bit by bringing up some points from other videos, like Allah helping certain Christians.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like Allah helping Christians become uppermost, but he helped the wrong ones. And you could toss in there when in the Quran, when Allah has Jesus doing things like giving life to clay birds. It's funny in the sources that Muhammad is plagiarizing for this. The point is that Jesus is God. The point of these stories is that Jesus is God. He creates the same way that God does. God makes man out of clay and then breathes life into him, and then man becomes man is alive. Jesus is doing, look, I can do the exact same thing. I'll make a bird out of clay, breathe into it, boom! Now the bird is flying away. Does the exact same thing God does. Muhammad is familiar. Muhammad hears these stories, but then he says, oh, and Jesus gives life to clay birds by Allah's leave. And Muslims say, oh, it says by Allah's leave. Yeah, what's by Allah's leave? That he creates in the same way Allah creates? And then Allah's letting him do this? Why? So one he's got the ability to do it, and Allah lets him do it. So, but here's the thing. Doesn't Allah know when he has Jesus creating in the same way that Allah creates? Doesn't Allah know when he has Jesus doing all these things that people are going to conclude that he's God? So where do people get the idea that Jesus is God? From Allah. So you've even had Muslim commentators who believe, Shabir Ali has mentioned this, that belief in Jesus' resurrection was because after Jesus is miraculously rescued, Allah allows Jesus to appear to his followers to comfort them. Say, hey guys, I'm actually, look, I'm not gone, I'm still here. They misinterpret this as resurrection. But it's just funny, so now you could say even Allah is responsible for belief in Jesus' resurrection. So so guys, look, do the math here. Jesus' death, his resurrection, and his deity. Those are like the core elements of the Christian gospel. You could trace, according to Islam, you could trace all those back to Allah. Allah tricked people into believing that Jesus died on the cross. Allah allowed Jesus to appear to his followers, that's where they got the idea of the resurrection. And Allah allowed Jesus to do things that only God is supposed to do, convincing people that Jesus is God. You can trace all this back to Allah. And then Allah helps the followers of Jesus who affirm his death, resurrection, and deity. And he helps those followers become uppermost. In other words, guys, why is Christianity this big thing?
Yeah.
Allah.
It's